Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to my channel Papercraft Secrets. Today I'm sharing a bulk set of cards I made with the Rustic Bouquet printable. This printable creates all of these cards and more. So let's take a look at what you can make with the printable. So we've got this Get Well Soon pretty rustic bouquet card. We've got the same card in Thank You. It's got a cute little twine bow and a little butterfly. You can print that out in Happy Birthday. You can print it out as a sympathy card. And you can print it out as a Thinking of You card. So there's all of those types. So that's 5 of those. And inside, just a simple message. Plenty of room to write on the inside of those cards. And let's take a look at these larger cards now. These were really fun to create. They've got like a wood paneling background, some strips of paper and a floral cluster in the middle with a sentiment. So very simple cards to make, but lots of fun and really fun to play with these rustic colors and papers. So that's Happy Birthday with sympathy, thank you. The sentiment, you can choose which sentiment you like because you've got in the pack you get a whole set of different sentiments. So these cards are very versatile, really can be used for any occasion. So that's those larger cards. And then we have some extra little cards here. So we've got these ones with a little square design. That's a sympathy card. And we've got Thinking of You. The same sentiments as before with these ones. Happy Birthday. So the advantage of this card making set is that you can have a card ready to go for any occasion, or you can print it as you need it. Once you've purchased the digital download, you can print any card as you need. These are some other little cute ones that I made with the scraps. So these are the cards that I created from the printable, but there is potential to also use the printable as a scrapbooking paper printable as well. I'm going to show you step by step how I created these cards, and I'll also talk you through the printable itself. So let's get started. So here we are on my website. If you go to the shop section, so that's www.papercraftsecrets.com.au/shop. And then it will take you here to the Rustic Bouquet greeting cards for all occasions. And you can add that to your cart and purchase that. You can just go through. So you'll see, if you scroll down here, you'll see the Rustic Bouquet cards and layouts, printable PDF, 36 pages, some beautiful card making examples from the design team, some ideas for layouts, beautiful layouts you can make, beautiful cards you can make, more beautiful layouts from the talented design team. So that's where you find it. And once you have purchased your printable, then it will be in your, you make a little account. You can make a little account here. You can log into your account, and there you'll see all of your files that you have purchased. All right, so here I am on my husband's account, and if I go to downloads, I can see all of the downloads that he has purchased. So he's got the Christmas step card, the pocket digital card, the Halloween step card, the fall banner, the gift tags, and the digital downloads. So you can see that you can continually. This link never expires. You can download this as many times as you need. So if you accidentally lose your file on your computer, you can re-download it. Or if I do an update to the file, you can re-download it and get the updated version. Once you have downloaded your file, it'll be in a PDF format. And then you'll see here all of the different printables that you'll print out. You can just print out every page, or you can pick and choose as to which pages that you would like the most. This is where it comes down into the rustic pages. Okay, we've got lots of lovely wood pages in here. And then we've got some polka dots and this lovely orange, rustic orange page, some stripy pages, you've got sentiments. Okay, so you're getting a lot of pages in this printable. I think we said it was 36 pages, so plenty of value. And then you want to print it out, okay? So you go to File and you choose Print. Now, I always say down here where it says Preview, choose Media and Quality, and then move this little bar all the way to Best. Okay, so you're printing at the highest quality that your printer can print, and that makes certain that you're not going to get half colored in pictures. You're going to get full quality color. All right, so just make sure you've got media and quality, and then you've got this little bar all the way to Best, and then you just press Print. So this is the paper that I buy at Officeworks to print my printables on. It's HP Color Choice paper, and it's actually cardboard. It's white glossy cardboard that can go in your printer, and you can print all of the printables on that. This one is 250 GSM, and it's A4, and it's 250 sheets. That's my preference. I've also purchased another one which is 200 GSM. So it's a little bit less thicker, or a little bit thinner than the 250 GSM. My preference is the 250 GSM because I prefer a thicker card stock, and my printer can easily take both. This is the printable, the rustic bouquet printable. You can see that it is quite thick. There's lots and lots of pages in here. I'm going to take you through the pages so you can see what you are receiving. So this is the front cover, and then there is information about the video tutorial, and I'll pop a little code down the bottom there so that you can use your phone to just scan straight to the tutorial and watch it. You've got this page of floral clusters. This is just a blank card with a blank face, and that's the back. Then we've got the one without a sentiment, and this version without a sentiment. Then we have our sentiment version, Happy Birthday, and that's the inside to the Happy Birthday, and you get an extra little flower which you can put on the top if you want to. And there's Get Well Soon, and that's the inside, Get Well Soon for that card. This is Thank You, and the inside is Thank You so much. Thinking of you for the inside. With sympathy, thoughts and prayers to you. happy birthday. Now we've changed design to the square design, and that can go on the top. Thinking of you. And these are the same sentiments as before. Thank you. Thank you so much. Get well soon. Get well soon. With sympathy. On the inside of with sympathy. Then you've got lots of sentiments here. Thinking of you, best wishes. Happy birthday with sympathy. Get well soon. Thank you. And more sentiments that you can use here. Happy birthday, thinking of you with sympathy. Then you've got a page of striped line segments here, which you can cut down and use as strips on your cards or your layouts. Then we have a pale pink page. We have a lovely distressed orange page. We have a creamy polka dot page, a white wooden page. And then we have lots of rustic wooden pages. These can be used for scrapbooking or card making. They're all pages that you can use as backgrounds in your layouts or on your cards. And then we have a thank you page at the end. So that's what the printable looks like. And now I'm going to take you through the 3 or 4 different sets of cards that I'm making with this printable. So the first set of cards we're making is the one with the vase on the front of each card and the variety of sentiments already printed at the bottom. These are quick and easy cards to make and quite enjoyable. So let's get started. Take your printable and find the pages where it has the happy birthday, the get well soon, the thank you, the thinking of you, and the with sympathy cards with the vase of flowers on the front. What I need you to do is to cut around the edges of each one of the front cards or the card bases. That's the one with the flower on the front and the words underneath the flower. And then the leaves, they form the back of the card. So just cutting around all of the edges of your cards. And then we're going to fold that in half, and that becomes our base card. You can use a bone folder to smooth that down. And if you need to, you can just trim off any edges. So you need to do that for each one of your cards. Okay, and you've now done that and you've folded them all in half, so they are ready to go. They're all smoothed down and ready. So now we're taking the inside section and we're cutting around the insert for each of the cards. So this is this little square. We'll just cut that out. And then that's going to be pasted inside. This flower can be fussy cut out if you want to. If you don't want to fussy cut out this flower, you don't have to. You can just completely disregard this section and just keep your card really, really flat. If you'd like to have a try at fussy cutting, grab your scissors and cut around the edge of the design, leaving a very small white border around the edge of all the leaves and the flowers and the vase. One hand cuts with the scissors, the other hand moves the paper so that you can get in and out of all of those little intricate leaves and flowers. This can take a little bit of time and can be quite relaxing if you choose to cut in front of the television or, while you're watching a movie or watching YouTube or doing something else in a relaxed environment. So once you've got all of that cut out, that's what it looks like. choose the matching card. What you can do here is you can use some recycled cardboard, or you can use some little white sticky dots. It's up to you. These are the white sticky dots. You just pull them out and pop them on, and then once you're happy with where you've got them, you need to take off all the backing on the little white sticky dots, and then you can stick them onto your card. So that's one way of doing it. The other way is to cut some recycled cardboard and to glue it on. It's up to you as to what you prefer. And you just pop that picture straight on top of the other picture. Then we're going to take this insert, putting some glue on the back of the insert, and we stick that on the inside of the card. Now if you want to, you can take an ink pad and you can ink the edges of the card. That just gives it a little bit more of a rustic look. You can ink the back of the card if you want to as well. You could also ink that little insert before you stick it in. Now if you want to add some pretty little butterflies to your cards, you can use one of the free printables over on my blog. So if you go to Papercraft Secrets and you click on free printables, it'll allow you to enter your password. So if you're subscribed to my email list, you have access to the free printables library. So once you type your password in to the box and then you just press enter, then you are into the free printables page. Now the very first one here, the Mother's Day cards and layouts, May 2022 National Scrapbooking Day. If you click onto download freebie at the bottom of that printable there, that will take you to a free download. This is a gift that I gave to all of my crafting friends on Mother's Day, and you'll see that there are lots of butterflies on this printable. I'm going to use some of the butterflies from this printable on my cards because the colors are very similar. So it's page 2 that I want, and I'm actually going to print 2 pages of page 2, but if you wanted some larger butterflies, there's some more on page 3. Alright, so I've now cut out all of my little bouquets, but again, this is optional. If you don't want to cut those out, you don't have to. Your next step is to cut out all of the inserts for the cards. We're just going to trim those down with our paper trimmer. And you need to do this for each one of your inserts. Once you have cut all of those down, you can choose to ink the edges with your chocolate ink or your vintage ink pad. And then you will add some glue to the back of those inserts and paste them inside each of their matching cards. So make sure you get the sentiment correct for the card that you're using at the time. And you can ink the edges of the card as well if you would like to. Then you can use some recycled cardboard, or you can use the foam dots to put on the back of each of those bouquets. Then we just add some glue and turn them over and stick them onto the image. So it gives a lovely 3D effect. I'm going to use a little bit of twine to create a little bow for each of the vases. You can see that the picture has the twine on there. I'm just going to stick my twine directly on top of the picture, and then I'll just trim down the edges. Once you've done that for each card, it's then time to choose your butterflies from the free Mother's Day printable sheet. And then we just cut them all out individually and stick them on the flowers, and that completes our set of cards. These cards are really sweet. They're great to have in your stash, and you can use them for a variety of purposes. Alright, so let's have a look through here and see what we haven't used yet in our design. So we've got this square happy birthday card, thinking of you, thank you, get well soon, and a with sympathy card. So let's work with those now to create our second set of rustic bouquet printable cards. So to begin with, we'll just start by trimming down all of our pages with our paper trimmer until we have cut out all of the pages. Our next step is to take these ones here and to fold them in half so that they create our base card, and you can smooth that fold down. Just go through and fold all of those cards. Our next step is optional, but you can take an ink pad and you can run your ink pad around the edges of the card to create a rustic distressed look to your edges. And then you can do the same with the inside of each of the little cards. The next step is to glue the inserts inside each of the cards. Once you've got all of those glued in, it's time to cut out the extra little square. Now this is optional. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. If you don't enjoy fussy cutting, you can just leave your cards the way they are and add the butterfly on to the picture that is on the base of the card. If you like or enjoy fussy cutting, you may wish to cut out this extra page or this extra picture and do the inside as well, and that way you'll just have a floral square that you can add on to the front of your card. Then you can add on some little pieces of recycled cardboard onto the back of the square, and then you can add that onto your card. You can also add some butterflies from the free Mother's Day printable to add to your card. And you can pop those on the floral clusters in the corners of the square. And that's really sweet. Once you have fussy cut out each one of those little squares, if you choose to cut those out, you can just paste them on in the same way as the first card and then add on some butterflies. And these cards look really pretty. They're great to have on hand in your stash for when you need them. Moving on to our next set of cards now, we're going to use all of these lovely rustic wood background papers to create our cards. So first of all, we're just going to trim off the white edges of the page so that we can use these. And we are cutting our page to 8 inches by 8 inches. So we're going to have an 8 by 8 inch square for the base of our cards, and then we're just going to fold that in half to create the base of our card. So you need to do that for all of the papers. So we've got this lovely wooden page here with a lighter toned wood. Keep your little scraps to the side. We're going to go with this one here, which is sort of like a grey, really distressed wood, cutting that to 8 inches. We've got this one, which is a little bit different again, cutting that to 8 inches and folding in half. And then we've got this one here, which is a lovely chocolate brown sort of wooden one, cutting that to 8 inches and folding in half. Then we have this page here with the stripes, the different types of paper in stripes. So we're going to cut that down, following the lines on the paper. And I'm just inking the edges of all of those strips that we have cut down. And I'm making a few extra strips from our scraps. I'm taking this lovely orange page, I'm cutting it to 8 inches, and then I'm just cutting some scraps into it, some sort of strips. They can be a variety of 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inch strips. Then I'm going to lay out all the cards in front of us. I'm going to ink the edges of all those strips that I've just cut down. And I'm going to place them on the cards and see which ones that I think go the best or match the best with the papers. And I'm thinking about maybe 3 strips per card. At the moment they're all 8 inches long. I'm going to cut up some cardboard. I might rip a couple of the edges to make them a little bit shorter and then ink those ripped edges for this card. Putting that cardboard on the back and gluing them down. Alternative to ripping the edges is to just take a pair of scissors and cut the edges so that you can have a variety of lengths if you would like to. Once you've cut that bottom edge, make sure you ink it as well if you're inking the edges. That just adds some variety in the lengths. No right or wrong way to layer these strips. of paper onto the cards. I'm overlapping mine and choosing a variety of different materials to layer on. The next step for these cards is to take this bouquet paper and to cut out each of the bouquets that are on the page. There are six floral clusters altogether. We're making 5 cards. So I'm going to choose to put the 2 smallest ones together on the same card. So if you cut them out roughly first, and then you can take your time and fussy cut around the edges of the image. I like to leave a tiny little white space around the image so that when you come to the really thin pieces, you've got something that will hold it all together. And you can see how one of my hands is holding the scissors, the other hand rotates the paper so that I can get in and around all of the little bits of the floral cluster. Once you've cut out all of those floral clusters there, 1 for each card and 2 on one of the cards, you can choose from the sentiment pages. There's 2 sentiment pages in the printable. I'm going to go with this one here, and I'm going to cut out 1 sentiment for each card. Once you've cut all of those out, you can choose which sentiments are going to suit you best at the time for your cards and just pop one on each of the cards. And then we're going to use some recycled paper to put on the back of those sentiments and also on the back of our floral clusters, so we can glue those down onto our card, adding a little bit of dimension and layers to each of our cards. And this one here has got the 2 floral clusters joined together and then the sentiment. And they look really beautiful. I love the rustic colours. I'm really loving these cards. Next up, I'm going to use some of this white wood backing paper to cut some pieces for the insides of my cards. So this is measuring 7 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm doing that with this creamy pink paper as well. 7 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now I'm going to apply that to the inside of my cards for a little insert. Remember, you can ink the edges of that insert if you wish. Gluing that on, and the last one I don't have enough, so I'm just going to double it up. I think these cards are my favorite from this printable. I love the vibrancy of the colors and all the different layers and textures in these. So I only have a few scraps left now from my printable. I printed out the whole package, and I'm going to use this blank card and this card here without a sentiment, and this card here which is another one without a sentiment. And I'm going to fold those in half, and I'm going to use these little bits here that were part of the front pages, the back pages. I'm going to use a little bit of that wood there. Ink the edges and glue that on. And then I'll add a little floral cluster there. And then I'm going to look at some sentiments. Choose the sentiments that I like. Put a thinking of you sentiment on this card here. I'll ink the edges of the card. I might do all the edges while I'm here. And maybe I'll use a with sympathy sentiment on this one. And a thank you sentiment on that one. I might add that extra floral cluster on there. So pop that over the top. Put my sentiment on. And put my sentiment on. And there I have another 3 super quick cards that are ready to go in my stash. And then, you know, I might as well decorate with a few of those butterflies from the free printable. There's one there. One on that card there. And one on the thinking of you card, just somewhere there. Glue those on, and my cards are all finished. So you can see what a versatile printable this rustic bouquet cards for all occasions and scrapbooking papers is. There are so many different cards that you can make. I've only shown you 4 different types of cards, but you're only limited by your imagination. And you know, this is just great to have on hand. So whenever you need a quick birthday card or a quick thank you card or a quick sympathy card or a quick get well card, you can print it out and quickly put it together and you're ready to go. So it's very, very versatile to have in your stash these sort of cards ready to go. This printable is available for purchase over on my website at www.papercraftsecrets.com.au. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you stay up to date with all of my latest videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely crafty day.